Hey, today we're going on a field trip. Do you want to come? Hello, welcome back my jewellery making friends. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Carol, and on this channel we usually talk about how easy it is to make your own jewellery. We're doing something a little different today. We are going on a field trip to visit my friend Philippa, who makes her own Lampwork glass beads. So come along for the ride. So here we are at Philippa's house, and this is her studio, so come on in. Hello! This is Philippa!
Hi! Come in. Welcome to my bijou studio.
It's very nice.
It's very action-packed. Okay, so these are my special glasses which take the flare away from the flame. So when you're filming it, you'll probably just see an orange flare. You won't be able to see the bead very well, but through these I can actually see what I'm doing, which is really helpful. So you'll see that the flame will start to change shortly. And then I'm just going to adjust it so that it's the right temperature. So when these are quite high, that means there's quite a lot of LPG in the flame. So what I want is a nice low candle. These are the candles, these little bits. So I'm not sure if you can see without the glasses. Oh, you can sort of see it. So the blue flame is where I'm working. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working in the flame, and then when the bead is done I'll put it straight into my kiln. This is my bead kiln with a special bead flap door so I can shove the beads through. And here's my mandrels. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be working on some more beads for this. This is a commission piece, so I'm just trying to add some extra beads to it because it's going to be all beads. There's nothing between them. So I think she wanted about 22 inches. It's not there yet. Right, so first thing I'm going to do, I've pre-made some little twisties, which is what gives that kind of slightly organic, cloudy sort of look. This is my base colour. With glass, you need to pre-warm it a bit. I don't have a lot of space here. Some people have like a special bead warmer, glass warmer that will warm their beads, their glass up before they put it to the flame. It can be a bit shocky, this glass, so you have to be a bit careful when you're warming it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your glass and you're going to flick it in and out of the flame just to warm it up. It can take a wee while. So once you think it's starting to warm up, you can start to warm your mandrel up. This mandrel is made of stainless steel, not that you can tell because it looks pretty stained, but on the tip of it is what we call bead release, which is a type of clay that stops the glass from sticking to the metal. If you put the glass straight on the metal, it will fuse onto it, which is how I make some of my studs, but for this we're actually making a bead, so we don't want it to fuse to the metal or it won't come off. So as you can see, the glass is now starting to melt. You need to warm the mandrel up first, otherwise the glass won't attach at all. So now we can put our first bit of glass on. You can see I'm turning the mandrel gradually, so I'm just making a base for this so that I can then put the twisty over the top. For this particular necklace I'm actually using a mould so that the beads are all even, so my mould is here. So I'm probably going to go for this size I think today. So what we're going to do is just flatten it up a bit, get a nice base. A bit more on there because we're going a bit bigger than some of the other ones. That should give us a decent base. Check the size. Yeah, that'll be about right. I think it might actually end up being slightly bigger. This is a fairly organic pattern, so I'm not too worried about putting it on evenly and tidily, because what I want is for it to look a little bit like clouds over the sea, cirrus clouds. So we don't want it to be really tiny and beautiful. So it's probably enough. I'm just going to take that off. So just let it cool down a bit. Get a sort of idea of what it looks like. kind of see the stripy pattern coming through there, so it's pretty organic and it's not very even, which is what we want in this particular case. This is a very, very clear glass called Zephyr, well, the colour's called Zephyr, from Double Helix, which I think is a German brand. They make really, really beautiful silver glasses, but this is their clear, which is the best one I found for encasing because it doesn't bubble. When you're encasing, what you want to do is try to just keep the heat on the clear rather than the underneath glass, so that you end up not smearing what's underneath it. There's different ways of encasing, but this is the way that works for me. You want to make sure that you're overlapping the clear so that you don't get any of the blue coming through, because when I reheat it, if there's a gap in the encasing, the underneath glass will come up through that and will muddy the surface. So we want to make sure that it's nice and tight. Right, so next thing I'm going to do is just push the ends in so that we don't get any of the blue coming out and smearing the outside. So this bit I just generally pop it, push it in over the top. You can actually do quite a lot with the surface once it's been put on, so that it, without actually disturbing underneath too much. Okay, right, now I'm just going to melt it in. Right, now comes the bit where I'm going to go. That's too big. Push that in there. Yeah, I think this one is slightly too big for that mould, so I'm going to have to add some extra clear glass and make the next size up, which is fine. A little bit more of the clear over the top. Same across the let's try that now. Just a case of tidying it up a bit. Right amount of glass now. Okay, so I'm reasonably happy with that. Okay, it's never perfect, you know. So what I'm going to do now is just keep heating it just to get rid of the chill marks, which obviously when you put it in there it cools down quite fast, so you end up with a chill mark on the surface. So I want to just get that so it's glowing slightly, and then it'll be time to just whack it straight in the kiln. So what the kiln does is it heats it up and holds it. It's actually, I think it's at its soaking, which is 525. So we just pop it in there, put the lid down. And so it's holding it at this for about 2.5 hours, and it will gradually come down. It just helps the bead to not cool down too quickly. If it cools down too quickly, it will crack. So it's basically annealing it so that it's much stronger. And that's my demonstration.
Isn't that fun. I hope you enjoyed visiting Philippa's tiny wee studio and seeing how she makes her beads. By the way, her studio was made from a garden shed. It just shows you that you do not need a lot of space to do your crafting. If she can do all of that in her little garden shed, you can find a space too. Now remember to tune in next week for the second part of this series, where we will be having a chat with Philippa about how she got into bead making, etc, etc. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also ring that notification bell, and that way you will never miss a thing. You'll see Philippa's second part, you'll see other field trips I go on, as well as jewellery making projects and tutorials. Also, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.